I said this before in my previous videos when I speak about how Jehovah, the Most High God, was portrayed, and even Jesus Christ was portrayed. So no one is exempt from being betrayed, no matter how good of a person the individual is, or how they or just somebody being on the right path, because sometimes things just happen, and it's not necessarily because we're naive and because you're just dumb. You could be smart and be on the right path, and sometimes it still get deceived, because Satan is always trying to scheme somebody and play in somebody's face, and then other times Jehovah God is showing you who that person is. So for example, sometimes he allows things to happen and unfold because he wants you to see that that person that's somehow trying to make it seem like they're real is not real. Like, for example, if you have a person that's in your life that's claiming to be your friend, and then something tragically happens that shows you that that person is not your friend. It's not because silly because you was like dumb or nothing like that. It's just more of like, hey, like, let me show you this person's true colors, so you could be able to really know who you're really dealing with. Because some people, like, they'll play that role for so long, and you just can't really tell sometimes if your discernment is not as sharpened, or say if you're not really praying, and or if you do know, maybe you're just like looking past it for whatever reason. I don't know. And for me, I look at it as like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm holding a grudge against this person, I'm just going to be mad at the world. But I feel like forgiveness is a process. You can't. Because you can't just tell somebody to forgive somebody. It's, oh, just forgive that person. Like, no, it's going to take time. You may forgive somebody in 2 days. It may take somebody else to fully let go of the situation in 6 months. It just depends on the individual and exactly what happened in the situation, or what happened, what went down, like what went down. So then after that, once you say, okay, this is probably something small, so okay, whatever, we can let that go. But depending on whatever that it was, then it may take some time. For me, I look at it as like anybody that played in my face, like in my past or something like that, like, you guys are not allowed in my future. So I don't want people to think that, because some people that'll be like, oh, well, we could just do whatever we want to do. And, we'll just play your face. So we'll do this and we'll do that. And then later on, we're just trying to come back and try to make amends with you. And then we'll just say sorry. But the whole time it's not really real anyways, because we're going to play your face again. But, we're just doing this to kind of get inside the door again. So it's just like everybody that come back and say sorry doesn't mean that they still have, or they should still have access to your life. And a lot of people, they would kind of like test you to kind of see like where you at a little bit. Okay. You know how when people do, right? Like, they, want to see how they can get in just like a bug a little bit, like with a door. They can't get in through the window. They can't get in through the door because the door is not open when you open the door, right? So what do? They find a little creek, and they somehow dip into the little creek within a wall or corner. They somehow come in. You like how to, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like they're going to always try to find a way. These people will try to find a way back in your life, and it's up to you to decide if you want to allow that, because you can let go, meaning like, let go of the situation, like not holding on to it. Just imagine holding on to something really tight and you let go of it, right? It doesn't mean that you are okay with what they did or said or how they treated you, but it's more of like, now you can leave the situation in God's hands. You can pour out your heart towards Him, allow Him to fight your battles. Do what you can. If you can, do something to pretend it's whatever it is. If not, just pray about it and then let Jehovah God take care of the rest, so that it can give you peace. Because if not, you'll be angry, you'll be upset. You want to go back and give them a piece of your mind. And it's not that you're crazy, but it's just like sometimes people will make you crazy. They'll drive you crazy because of the things that they do. And then when you confront them, they'll tell you it's in your head. No, it's not in your head. You're not overthinking it. You're not crazy. You're not delusional. But this is what these people will try to put on you, trying to make it seem like something's wrong with you. In reality, nothing's wrong with you. Like, you understand what I'm trying to say? Hey, so it's just like, once you know that these people are more than likely, they're never going to change. And if you know that these people have disrespected you and played in your face for time and time and time again, stop letting them come back in your life. You are the one that has the antidote. You are the one that can open your door to whoever you want to allow in your home. You don't have to let somebody in your house if you don't want them to, so to speak, right? Symbolically wise, I'm saying, like, if somebody else played in your face time and time again for years, it's a pattern, kept on disrespecting you, playing in your face, and they want to come back and say sorry, then you got the people, forgive that person. No, like I said, forgiveness is a process. If you don't want to forgive somebody, then take it out with the Lord, Jehovah God, and tell him how you feel and just wait it out. Don't just say you forget a person, because if you really didn't and it's still in your heart, over time it's going to make it worse anyways. Well, it's better to just be honest and say, hey, you know what? I'm still dealing with this right now. I haven't fully, got over the situation with regards to how I feel about this. So let me pray about the matter. I'll get back to you. I'll let you know whatever the situation may be. But don't just lie, because over time something's going to come out. And you know how when somebody, keep on turning the other cheek, and then one day they explode, that's going to be that person, because they wasn't honest when they so-called claim that they forgive that, if they forgave that person. So it's probably just better to just be honest about it. Like, hey, I'm still working on it, or, I have to still pray about it, and I'll let you know, or whatever situation may be. But a lot of people, they'll come back only because, like I said, they want to see if they can still play some more. Or again, like I said, they're trying to just test the water, so to speak. So if you know somebody playing your face, like you don't have to allow them back in your life. Everything is certain things is a process. But I feel like if you know deep down them, these people probably have not changed, and more than likely they haven't changed. Like people, it takes effort to change. And I'm talking about when I say change, I'm talking about people that were toxic. That was toxic, that's not doing the work, that's not trying to heal, that's not trying to do better in life. They want to just stay stuck on dummy, stay inside the mud, and they want you to get dirty with them. Those are the type of people that I'm talking about. If you can remember about how they treated you or how they made you feel, then you don't go back to them. You know what I'm trying to say? Because that's what I do. Sometimes you think about somebody, or say, for example, you're not thinking about them, but say they're thinking about you and they're trying to manifest you. And then all of a sudden you realize that they're pulling on your energy. Remember how they treated you before, because that's what I do sometimes. Like, if I remember what somebody did to me, like, it'll help me to realize to keep moving forward. Because more than likely, if I was to go back to somebody or whatever it was, to something that how they mistreated me or whatever, whatever they done did, it's going to more than likely probably happen again. And if it's not that form, it may be another form. So it's not about me like walking around being bitter. It's more of like, hey, like, you've been there, you have learned that lesson, obviously. It didn't work out. You move forward to something else or different job, career, relationship, friendship, whatever that it is. So then you don't have to be worried about being around people that does not want to grow, because some people really don't want to grow. They want to just play in the field and say, okay, I'll play in the field and just have my little fun. And then later on, I come back, I feel like to you or whatever the situation pretty much may be. Um, because they feel like you'll probably just always be there waiting for them. Or it's like they want to go out in the field, do all of this crazy type of stuff, and they want you to just be at home and realizing that you have needs and desires too. You know what I'm trying to say? You deserve to also be happy. And so like I kind of just like feel like it's not fair, to try to tell somebody else to stay at home and to make it seem like that person can go out and have some fun too. But then you going out playing around with Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Joanne, Rebecca, and Ro. You know what I'm trying to say? And then when it's time to be seriously, you want to come back around, knocking on the door, and you can't do that because not everybody, not everybody is going to wait on you, especially if they know their worth. And so many people, their mindsets changes over time. So you can't just assume that that person gonna be just waiting on you, because by the time you get done and you go back to that person, they ain't gonna want you no more. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like an opportunity that's open right now. Once you don't take it, then then it's on to something else, on to somebody else, or somebody else gonna snatch it up. Like, hey, this is our last box, so if you don't get it today, more than likely somebody else may come in and take it from you. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like people, they miss out. And then they want to come back and want to try to apologize about their behavior, what they said or what they did. And next one, see, that's why I just said, no, we're not supposed to do nothing like that. It's okay that we do make mistakes, but there's a difference between you making a mistake, but you constantly keep on bothering me. You constantly keep on disrespecting me time and time again. So there is nothing for us to discuss. And it's not that I'm being bitter, because again, remember, you drinking poison, it's not going to hurt my body. You understand what I'm trying to say? When whatever you eat is not going to make me use the bathroom. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I feel like it doesn't really bother me per se, but like, don't play in my face. And then like when I confront you about what you're doing, you're looking all dumb in the face and looking cross-eyed or whatever, because you act like we don't know what you just did or what you said. And when I bring it back to your attention about what you said or what you did, you make it seem like we never did or you never said that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's what I don't like about people. And that's why sometimes it's hard, because Jehovah, he on another level, so he can forgive a person completely, because he knows everything. He knows somebody's heart. So he knows when somebody is truly sorry about something and truly working on themselves. He could be able to see that. But humans, we can't fully see that. And sometimes people, they play on our face time and time again. And they just want us to keep on just forgiving them. And it's just like, it's only so much that we can take. So for me, from my standpoint, within this human experience, I feel like it's still not fair to me, because I feel like I don't like for people to play in my face, because if I'm trying my best to do right by you, regardless of whatever you are to me, then I expect the same in return. If I tell you something, you respect it. You understand what I'm trying to say at the end of the day, right? You respect it, you listen, you do your best. Now, I'm not looking for perfection, but I'm saying, like, do your best, do right. Like, don't try to play in my face and then make it seem like I'm just tripping or I'm just acting crazy or I'm being sensitive. No, you disrespecting me, then you are. If I feel like that, and then that's just how I feel. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like, just treat people right. This message is treat people right. Don't try to make it seem like you can go play in somebody else's face and come back and say a bogus sorry. No, action and words has to align, okay? Not just your words, but actions too. And if it is not aligned, then then you're being manipulative, is what I'm trying to say. You're just, you're just talking, just trying to smooth talk and whatever and say things because it sound good, but you're not backing it up. So you can't get mad if somebody don't want to deal with you no more, because you have to listen to what the person is trying to tell you to do better. And if you don't, then the person has the right to move on from you or not want to deal with you anymore. It's not because we want to be petty and be mean, but it's like, you're not doing the work, love. What do you expect from us? To just sit there and be a dummy while you go out there and play in our face, and to come back and knock back out the door and say, hey, can I come back and do it again? No. And that's not going to go up, like, not over here. You can go try it outside somewhere over there, but you ain't going to come back over here. You can go anywhere you want to go. You just ain't come over here. That's all I'm saying. You lost me. And I'm not going to be dealing with nobody because I've been through a lot of disrespect from people that's supposed to show me support, love, and care. And all they do is just be disrespectful in every way and form. And I'm tired of it. Honestly, I really am. I had enough. So anybody that's trying to come back to my past, you're not wanted. You're not welcomed. And I just want certain types of people to just leave me alone. Stop asking about me. Stop bringing my name up. And just leave me be. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's just all I really have to say with this message. Um, realizing that we're not going to tolerate the disrespect. We're not going to tolerate the craziness. Treat people right the first time. All right? That's the lesson. Treat people right the first time. And then you ain't got to be worried about going through this cycle and its lesson and all these problems because you would have had got it right, but since you didn't get it right the first time, it's like you spiritually failed, right? Because it's all a test, spiritually and physically, right? It's a test from Jehovah God. He's testing everybody, the good and the bad. And I feel like a lot of people, they're failing a test because they don't know how to treat people right. They think it's funny, they think it's okay, and it's not.